Hey everybody, Adam Savage in my cave with a return to a build I tackled a little bit during COVID and I'm continuing to tackle, and that is my Iron Man Mark I armor. Previously, I recently did a one-day build where I worked on the center torso and the Magneto and the back and the shoulders and arms somewhat. And I've decided to tackle the legs. Now, the legs is a involved part of this costume because while the main components of the legs are good looking, there's a lot I can do to make these more accurate, and I'm going to. And in fact, reader, I'm so sorry, but I did some of this off camera. So here is the right boot. This is the right hand boot. And I know it's freaking gargantuan, but the right hand boot here totally is, it's actually pretty darn screen accurate. This big plate, I've got this one that moves, which is actually really neat as it goes. Yeah, it's gonna keep on moving with it. It's solid, it's light. I got a ski boot that's my size buried in here, so it's walkable for me. This is sort of like, I was sort of getting my feet wet with the screen accuracy. Now, the thing about the Iron Man suit that I bought those many years ago is that it was bilaterally symmetrical. That is, one leg was the same as the other leg. So as you can see, I cut away the lower part of this leg to add this plate to make it more like Shane Mahan and his team at Legacy Effects Iron Man. I'm about to do the same thing on the other leg, and it's going to take a lot of modification to get it to where I want it. But it's not going to be a really hard build. I've got all sorts of stuff. I got some styrene, I got some camping foam, I got some resin parts, I got some foam PVC. This is a little bit of everything. And right now, all I want to do is paint it. But obviously, I'm not going to paint it yet. That'll be a separate build. Oh, also, yeah, I've got to make soles for this out of camping foam. And then the legs tie together with the upper legs on this torso, and there's this huge center ring. And that is a key part that my costume does not have, the center turret ring of the movie Mark I. You can see it right there. Yeah, the codpiece is actually attached to it. So I am going to be doing all of that. I'm going to be, and this may take me a couple of weeks to do all the bits and pieces of it, but there will be a central circular turret on which hang the thighs, and the calves won't hang from that. Those will be on my feet. But then that turret will hang off of my chest with some suspenders, and then the torso goes up over that, and the arms come on there. That is the rough outline. Now I've got to pull this boot over here and start to investigate what I am going to do to it. This is by far the most elaborate pair of shoes I have ever made for a costume. Yeah. I'm still wearing a hat. I still haven't gotten a haircut. There's just no reason to subject the world to my touring company of Godspell haircut. All right. Yeah, let's get started. The key difference here, and the reason I saved this one for the second, is that I had to get my head around how big this form was. But the reality of the second boot is that I kind of almost need to rebuild it from scratch. I'm going to see if I can salvage some pieces of this for the form factor, because it's a resin calf. It should actually suffice for me. I think I have enough pieces of foam PVC here to make this. Toe is the one thing that's pretty dead on. That's good to know. So I can definitely cut out that. Let's do that. This is a process where I am not sure what I'm going to get to be able to keep of this, but I'm going to try and keep most of it. And if I can't, I can't. But if I can, hey, plasma. Why did I say plasma there? Well, it was I think that's what Mork used to call his little buddy. He had a friend who would visit him on Mork and Mindy, and he would go, hey, plasma. So I've said it ever since. Okay. This is an air-powered reciprocating saw. This one's made by Ingersoll Rand, I believe. Am I wrong about that? Hold on. Ooh. I can pull the tape off that covered it over. CP. That's not Chicago Electric. Oh, Chicago Pneumatic. I guess this is a Harbor Freight tool. And it's totally great. I love air-powered reciprocating saws. They are very light. They're easy to use. You can't get into too much trouble with them. Yeah, they're fantastic. Air-powered reciprocating saw. Watch this. And that is the magic of the reciprocating air-powered saw. Okay. Part of it is that it's got these two big side pieces, which I need to sort of replicate and then cut away enough of this to fit them, right? And that's the problem is... Okay. I found this drawing on 3D.com, DO3D.com. I don't think this is production made, but it's pretty freaking accurate. So I'm using it as a part of a guide on this foot. So you see this here? That is what I just cut out the space for, and I like that. This piece is good. But this long upright, I don't have something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build this long upright out of hardware store aluminum, and then I'm going to build the rest of the leg off of that frame. So I think that this piece that I just cut out the inside of, I think this might be the only frame part that's left over by the time I'm done with this leg. I know, but that's really the reality of what it's going to take to get this to be the boot that I want it to be. And by the way, in case you're wondering, yes, I have always wanted to build a set of Tony Stark's Iron Man Mark II boots. Yeah, the exposed ones with the boop, boop, all that. The thing is, Peter Jackson owns the original table Mark II that Tony's working on the table. So I've got access to the reference that I want. And I already have a bunch of pictures of the one that's in Peter's collection. But yeah, that's the Iron Man flight boots. Completely a build I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. But not today. Today's a Mark I. About there. Yeah. This is definitely one of those processes where I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I know what each individual next step is. One of my favorite things is making a cut just in enough to be able to break off the piece. Love that. Ooh, there we go. I think that's all I'm salvaging out of here. We'll see. All right, so that's going to help inform the other stuff here. I had a mask on because I had some visitors. All right, so that's the one I wanted. I'm going to be bending my steel using this super inexpensive 3 pieces of steel bender. You will see. How I bend? Oh, like you bend. Thank you for the my cousin Vinny reference. All right. This is good. Nice and solid. Happy about that. Happy with how that looks. Now we've got this business up here. This. Yes, this. Okay, so what have I got? I've got, it's like this big. There's this huge flap that sits over here, and that's the next part that I'm making. This piece that comes across. And I may have to build out some more here because it's just a framework, but currently I'm pretty happy with how it is fleshing out. I want the front piece of that flap I'm making to be curved. And so in order to make it curved, I'm going to put it in my lab oven here and turn my lab oven up to just about 200 degrees, a little bit below that. For 1/4 inch PVC, that seems perfect. I'll leave it for about 20 minutes and then hopefully we'll be gluing it together. I'm redoing this little angle piece because I got the spacing on it wrong before. Let's That's what I wanted. That's it. Much better. Much better. I'm running out of long rivets. I haven't run out of rivets in so long. Any kind. I overstock. I hate running out of stuff. My flat piece, the piece that'll go here, warming up. Let's see how I want to do this. I think if these sit like this, I'll rest it on top. Look at that. It's all flippy floppy. It's fabulous. There we go. Excellent. I'm just going to let it settle there. Yeah. That's great. Very happy with that. All right. So I'm just going to let that cool down. And we'll get a nice, nice flat piece of PVC with that. Right here, I've got this part where the boot goes. And I want to stock this piece in there. This piece is going to live there. Yep. Okay. So this piece is going to live there. How is it going to go? You know me. I like a mechanical connection. So I'm going to take this piece of thin hardware store aluminum and I'm going to bend it around the bottom of this, rivet it in, glue it in, pop it in, and then rivet it down here, and it'll be perfectly attached to that. Yep. I'm pleased with that. So I'm going to come over here. There we go. The best part about this costume, of course, is that the more junky you make it, the better it looks, the better it reads, the better it flows. So that's great. I'm really happy with that. Let's get some cable travel in here. Glue this thing up. So I'm going to need a couple of... All right. Boy, I love that smell. I know I shouldn't. Oh, I'm so aware I shouldn't, but God, it's a good smell. PVC glues super fast. Super fast. Oh, hey. No. Okay, maybe not that fast, but still pretty fast. Good. I'm just adding a bunch of strength here because this flap's going to get a lot of abuse and it could use some strengthening. Yeah, there we go. that's why I love the reciprocating air saw. It can do things like that almost nothing else can do. All right, so I think it's time to figure out the final position for this. All right, marked out. These boots are awesome. Whoops. Bring in the handheld. What? You literally broke? I've never seen that happen. All right. It's coming along well. Yeah, I'm actually very, very happy with how it's feeling. Yeah, I am. I like the way that boot looks. I like the overall shape. I like this. I've got these angles are going really well. I don't need that right now. These angles are going really well, and they provide a really nice contrast with the other boot. I know the contrast is really high right now, but when I paint these, they're just going to be like, mwah, mwah, like delicious. All right, so I'm warming up another piece to wrap around these guys. Oh, that's right. I'm warming it up over here on the strip heater. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Oh, it's awesome. So on this, I'm leaving. I just want to be clear. Like, I have these two shapes, and I use the strip heater to heat this bend right here, and then I've cut it longer, and I'll cut it down, right? Because that'll just make it much easier to cut it down rather than cut it to exact shape and get it in right. Always do your cutting fitment after attachment if you can, if you are able, given the build. And here's the part. So it's going to go right there into the into that boot clevis right here. Yep. All right, now there's this piece that sits on top of that, and I'm going to glue that in. Yep. Yeah, I'm making it a little bit different than it was. Yeah, I know it's a little wider than I think, but that's okay. I know not that. You know, when you're doing some of these things, sometimes you come across these minor differences between yours and the real thing, and you just got to let those lie. Like, there's only so much I can do to get perfectly exact. I don't have access to legacy effects files. But that one. Okay, so I'm going to, this has this kind of edge frame to it. Yeah. So it's kind of going to be like this. This. So this is how fast you can make something out of PVC. I cut a square, I cut the internal, and then I beveled it on my belt sander. And now it can sit. See that? It's just, I love it. I love it. All right. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with gas. All right, I think that's a reasonable place to leave it there because I'm nice and high on the fumes of this PVC glue. And I'm at a reasonable stopping point while everything sort of settles overnight. Oh yeah, let me get this going in there. Good, good. This is shaping up to be a nice part. Let's see what I'm forgetting so I can think about it tonight. No, I think actually mostly there. God, it's great. But what happens in there? Not a lot. I mean, there's some bullet marks in here, but yeah. Put all my drills away. This is without a doubt my favorite kind of cosplay construction. I mean, I love high fidelity. Like, I love making my alien suit. I love knowing that I'm making something that's identical to what the actors wore. But just as much, I really like the slightly interpretive build, where getting close is just as good as nailing it. And this is one of those perfect costumes for that. It's the morning. I came in to see my lovely boots. I'm really happy with how they look. And I have this idea. Iron Man Mark I suit. I was talking at the beginning of this video about hanging the thighs of this Mark I off of a waist belt. But there's a connection between, wait a second. Yeah, there's a connection between the boot and the upper thigh, and I actually think I'm gonna make that connection. I think I'm going to, let's see this. I'm going to distribute the load. So I'm still going to make this, waist turret ring. And I'm still going to take up some of the weight of the thighs on that turret ring, but I am also going to connect the thighs to the calves using, effectively, I'm going to use this really nice aircraft grade Arctic birch ply, and I'm going to sandwich it together and make some 4 knee joints using thrust bearings. Yes, thrust bearings. I'm going to make 4 knee joints using thrust bearings, and the wood It should give me something to anchor against. It should give me, it should keep it from twisting. I'm just going over the reasons I'm using wood instead of aluminum. If I was using aluminum, I could use big, wide, flat pieces, but they could twist. There's just this way in which I feel like the plywood is going to give me a little bit more lightness and a little bit more flexibility in terms of how this thing goes together. Yeah, there's a lot of little details to add to this. It might take a little longer than I think. I will explain what a thrust bearing is. I think I've covered it before, but I'm going to do a little show and tell once I get to the point where I'm attaching them with that. I know, I didn't spend much time making those exact because I didn't really need to. But I am going to round these ends. These three parts represent a thrust bearing. There are two races. These are steel discs with a channel in them that matches the ball bearings in this little bearing race. And then when you put these together and you clamp them, they still provide terrific turnability. So these are for eliminating movement, but allowing a nice transfer of thrust. That's why they're called thrust bearings, I believe. At any rate, I am going to use one in each of the 4 knee joints I'm making. All right. So I've actually added a little countersink in there to aid and abet because I want a low profile. All right, 4 knees are done. Now the trick is figuring out how to attach between the calf or the thigh. Ah, it's definitely working. Oh, that's all right. Now I'm wondering. Now I'm questioning my logic. I kind of have to clamp these to this and see if this works. See. All right. Yeah, you know what? I don't think knee joints will actually help me in this costume. I think that's actually a bad idea. But I do think that I can hang them here. I'm holding on to them right here, and this is kind of great. So the question is, right, so I can, all right. I've made a decision. I am going to attempt to put in some knees into this. I'm going to attempt it because I actually think it's better for the costume if these are supported by the feet, and they can be. And then I could also add some help up top, maybe with some elastic or some suspenders that I wear. But I'm going to try the knees because I think that'll help. Okay. I like having some sort of a plan. Also, I suspect that the real one had locked knees. So I'm going to try it. I can try it with some drywall screws and a rough approximation and then adjust from there. Well, look at that. Right about here. That's a leg. Let's see if I can get in it. That is really neat. Okay. I really hope this works. Dude. I'm digging it. Yeah, this is great. This is awesome. Okay, so that feels really good. It feels nice and positive. I think I'm going to attach these legs like this. Oh. All right, time to put some knees down. We'll do the knee attachment first. So on this one, it was on the inside, and on this one, it was on the outside. This is a shot that makes it look like I'm working on a real Mark I suit. Good. Leg number one, mechanically wrapped. Leg number two, what are we going to do with you? All right. Now, that's going to live there. Yep, look at that. Ideal. Ideal, I say. Ooh, I like that. Oh, yeah, that's great. Hinges are at exactly the same spot, and now the thighs will be too. Yeah. Oh my God. Right now, I'm excited about getting the mechanicals done, but mostly so that I can actually set both of these legs up and start adding the wires and the greeblies and all the detailing before painting, because it's going to be so good. It sits here like this. Then, there. Okay. Right, 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 right. I have to remind myself constantly which I am working on. All right, test fit, test fit, test fit. Let's see. Ooh, ow, okay. I forgot to cut down a drywall screw in there. See what I need to do. I think this looks fantastic. I'm really happy with it. I like how it looks in the... Here. Yep, the knees feel right and proper. I'll put some padding in there. Yeah. I gotta put some soles on it. Yeah. The legs are working. I'm very happy with how they're going. Now the question is this part. And remember, at the beginning of the video, I said I thought that I would be hanging the thighs off of this and doing a suspender thing. So clearly I'm not doing that now. But I'm not sure where this central circular turret actually mounts. I'm not sure if it mounts... Yeah. I'm just going to have to put all these on and see what their relationships are and look in the mirror here and kind of build my base of understanding here. Let's get this... let's do this Hollywood thing where you can... Yeah, that's it. You can see me. I can see me. You can see me seeing me. Yeah, great. Okay. The most difficult part about this right now is the fact that every time I put my foot in, there's some new bit of debris at the bottom of the snow boot, and sometimes that bits of debris are sharp. That was not what I expected to be the hard part of this build. But these are by far the easiest legs of a costume I've ever had to put on. Oh, yeah. All right, torso. Yeah, I think this could actually even sit a little higher on me because I think it does in the movie. I think it sits. Yeah, I think Tony's Mark I suit sits here, not here. So there's definitely like padding I'm going to build in. And I want to make that padding really stable. The separation here on the sides, that turns out to be an ideal feature for putting this costume on. I don't want to make it in hard. So it's almost like this thing is a belt and it's on me. Yeah. I have been thinking about this thing all wrong. I've been thinking about like too much structure. All I really need is a wide, flat, very circular belt here that the codpiece can hang off of. The ass flap. There is an ass flap. Iron Man has an ass flap. Not for pooping, for bullets. And it's mounted to me, then I can still put this costume on as easily as I just did. The real issue right now is actually totally separate, but it's about getting my hand in this thing in the thing. I may have to cut part of that away because it's really hard to put this on. I'm going to slip my hand down in there in any kind of reasonable way, especially if I'm also wearing welding jacket. So that is great. I am going to build this out of a few pieces of aluminum and Sintra, and then I'll mount it. Yeah. I'm super psyched. This is actually turning out to... I fully bought this expecting it to be the least comfortable of all possible cosplay costumes. And in the end, it may actually turn out to be more reasonable to wear than most of my costumes. Because right now, the legs, like, I can wear these all day long. I know. I'm the kind of person who would like to wear these all day long. Okay. Belt. Let's get started. All right. This piece of, I think this is 16th inch by 2 inch. Inch and a half. Inch and a half aluminum is going to be the main body of this turret belt, and then I'm going to augment it using some foam and hot glue. So to the roller, as it were. This is my metal roller. It lives over here up at the front of the shop, and there's always always stuff to move. It doesn't get a lot of play. All right, get these guys out. All right, so this is how a steel roller works, or a metal roller works. Yeah. Set the wheels to a certain depth. I'm never going to get it always exactly right on the first try. It's important to feed your stuff through flat, but so I have some history with this metal roller. This was the Industrial Light and Magic model shop metal roller. And when the model shop shut down, it got sold at auction to a Disney film called Cinderbiter that Henry Selick was making. And then when that production shut down, I bought this from them. And there we go. That is a, yeah. I actually want it to be smaller than that. Yep, about like that. So how do I, oh! So the reason I just made that exclamatory noise, is because I was thinking that, how do I get this thing on me? How do I get this belt on me? And the answer, I think, is that it clips. It clips using these guys. I just need to see the front and the, yeah. So I feel, yeah, okay. Yeah, it has to clip because I can't slip it over my body. It has to clip. So I make the clip first and then I worry about the surface detailing. Yes. So then the question is, what's that? Yeah, about that. Nice. That's a nice positive grab. Got to be pleased with that. That's what I'm talking about. Yep. That will sit here. Yep. Okay, so. Oh, maybe I only need one. Ooh, maybe I do only need one. Okay. Okay, so I want this to be a double layer thick. So, you guys live there. Okay, so there's a belt. Now let's get this on us. And take a look and see how this looks. How does this work with the torso? So now I've got kind of a rough fit. You know? I may have to cut back. Good. I'm gonna have to build a shoulder stand for this. Oh, so I'm marking out the parts I'm gonna cut out here. But I like this belt. I'm very happy with it. I'm happy with how it sits. And to be honest, oh, right. So now I need to mark where it goes to. Right about to here. Yep. So now I guess it's, I'll do a little bit of trimming, a little bit of fitting, and then assemble the belt. And then the next time you see me try this all on, hopefully we're really close to just put my left foot. Might put my left foot in my right shoe. All right, here we go. Oh, good. It's only 2:30. It's not that bad. Still have a few. I think I'm all out of long rivets, but that's exactly how many I needed. So there is. Yeah, great. Okay, now it's time to start mounting stuff to this. Final dress up and then paint. I know I said I was going to paint in the last shot. I had to do some more. I did do some more stuff. So let's get this all up and running. Oh. Dude. I have to say, when we started this one-day build, I did not realize that my modification of the legs to be more accurate would end up being an almost total rebuild. But it was. I made them monolithic, attached to each other and attached to the heels. I rebuilt the left calf almost entirely from scratch. And clearly I'm talking to you from the future where a ton of painting has happened. And I can't tell you how excited I am about the paint job. Oh, my favorite paint job I've ever done is on this Iron Man Mark I, but that is a totally separate video. This one is just about the legs. We're just showing you a little leg. That's all. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching that entire video. If you would like to support Tested even further, well, I'm here to tell you that you could become a member. If you follow the links below, you'll see there are several tiers of membership depending on how much you'd like to pay and how much access you would like to me and the Tested team. And membership comes, as always, with some excellent benefits, including questions that I'll answer in live streams. The questions have been so amazing, and exclusive videos and exclusive content. Follow the links below, and we will see you next time.